All right, everybody, welcome to our webinar. We're going to go ahead and get started. It is 4:00 p.m., so it is time to take off. This webinar is going to be all about accounts and reports, pretty much connecting the chart of accounts and reports, all the information that we've talked about in the past webinars this month, and how they connect to other parts of the system, specifically the reports. I'll be your host today. My name is William Binkley. I'm a support specialist with TruckLogics. So if you've called in, you've probably gotten me. And we're here to explain how all these connect. So what we're going to go over today is how do the accounts reports tab connect and the importance of their connection as it relates to your business. As always, at the end, we're going to have a question and answer session. Pretty much what we're going to talk about is connecting everything that we've gone over this month and how it shows in other parts of the system, so you can have a better idea of what your business is doing, tracking your income and expenses, and just kind of seeing like all the information that is within TruckLogics. It's all connected and it's all showing together, and what you enter in one section has an effect in the totally other section. At this time, I'm going to pause the screen and we're going to switch over to the test account, our demo account. All right, so of course, as you normally log in, you'll always start on the dashboard. Now, in the previous webinars, we've gone over chart of accounts, different things such as income and expense transactions. And whenever you click on chart of accounts, you see all of these pre-entered income and expense accounts. Within them, they have different descriptions. Each one is already connected to something else within the system. For example, whenever you generate an invoice and you mark it as paid, that typically goes with mileage income. It's all any income generated from hauling goods. Whenever your drivers or you enter in a fuel expense, that's going to show up in the expense section. This is going to be anything related to fuel, you know, putting in the gallons and the miles, the state that it was purchased in. So that'll show up in here as well. And then of course, within the, you'll notice to the side all the amounts within each account. You can update them, add new ones, and Amber went over that in the previous webinar, adding income and expense accounts. So whenever you do that, wrong button. Whenever you add a new account, each time there's going to be a tax category. This is optional, but it does play a part in the reporting that we're going to get into later. But we went over how to enter this information in. You can check out our previous webinars about that. But as we just continue on through, you'll notice the name of the category, and you'll also see that within the income and expense transactions. So for example, we've got the income transactions here. We'll see mileage income, accessorial income, all of that. Each name, each category has a reference, and as you can see here, these are references to the invoice that they're associated with. And same thing with the expense transactions. You'll see everything at the bottom here, different kinds of categories. So factoring charges, you can enter these manually, or whenever they're entered, usually they're entered on invoices. So whenever you put a rate in, and it's for a factoring company, that will automatically appear in this section. Driver expense, or driver settlement, sorry, you can see that that's an expense. Wages, anything like that. So not only are they appearing within the accounts tab and the income transactions and everything below, you can enter them in manually in case there's something that you just want to enter in as a standalone income or expense. Now these categories, they are going to appear within the reports tab. So if we come over here and come over to profit and loss report, and we're just going to use a date range. You can choose quarterly, monthly, or weekly. I just prefer to choose date range because it's easier. We'll start with January 1st, and we'll just go until today's date. You can also specify by unit. That's completely up to you. But as you see here, you see the list of all the transactions that happened in general. So for example, we've got income, fuel surcharge. There was a fuel surcharge on a previous load, mileage income, all of the income here from marking invoices as paid or leaving them as finalized. Those are all showing up right here. Accrual, we've got two accounting types, accrual and cash. Accrual is going to show everything that is cash and finalized, so everything that you're potentially making, whereas cash is going to show everything that's already been marked as paid. As you'll see, the numbers are probably going to change a bit when we switch it to cash. So the mileage income isn't showing that 4,000, whatever that number was that it was before. It's showing now $2,925. But you see that mileage income, again, coming from an invoice that was marked as paid, fuel surcharge, which is also part of that invoice, and accessorial income. Expenses, same thing. Fuel will have a little bit of a breakdown if there's anything else included, for example, reefer or def. If you've entered that on a fuel expense, you'll see that little breakdown here. Wages, that'll be with driver settlements. So if you've got a company driver and a driver who works for your company and they're an employee under you, that'll show as wages. But the opposite end, if you've got a contractor or another carrier working under you and you give them a 1099, that'll show as payments instead of wages. So again, that's all connected to the chart of accounts and the accounts that you enter in there. And that's pretty much it for the profit and loss report. So anything that you've entered in manually will show up in here. Let's do one as an example. So we're just going to go ahead and add an income category. We're going to say lease income, and we're just going to put $125. Payment mode was check. Unit, we're going to go with Web T1. You don't necessarily have to assign it to a truck, but again, anything with a red asterisk is going to be what's required. Income date, let's say we got that earlier this month. And save. So now when we go back over here to profit and loss report, and we choose that date range again, once it loads, we've got that leased income right here. All right. And then the report just breaks down by income versus expenses, and then it's got the grand total of everything, the difference. So it's going to take the difference between the income and the difference between expenses, but it'll show you the total before that. Anything with a red number, of course, is going to be loss. Anything in a black number is going to show as profit. So clearly we're losing money right here. But this is also going to show up that tax category that Amber mentioned in the previous webinar. That's going to show up in this section. So we've got different categories here. As you can see, whenever you switch it between accrual and cash, you'll be able to see the different categories that are listed. You'll be able to see the transactions associated with them and what income or expense category goes into that tax category. So for example, gross receipts and sales, it's going to be all of the income, anything that has happened. So advances, fuel surcharges, income from sales, lease income, those fall under this tax category. And you'll notice some of these Some of these are connected to others, so it'll say like subtract line 2 from line 1. The system's already doing that math for you. So all you're doing is just entering in your expenses and income, and you'll be able to see anything that doesn't have anything to expand on is just going to be that math line of subtract this from this line from this line, or it's going to show you just the total of everything. So like gross profit, subtract line 4 from line 3, subtract line 2 from line 1, then adding lines 5 and 6 together to come up with the gross income. And then same thing with the expenses. So legal and professional services, factoring charges, physical DOT. And a lot of these are already pre-programmed in here, but anything that you add as an income or expense account will also be, you can choose to put it under a specific category. Now, as it relates to your business, these are things that are going to show you just the general overview of what's happening within your company. You know, this is showing for the year of 2023. Cash is going to show everything that's already been paid. So this is everything up until this point, as long as it's been marked as paid. If you're looking for the potential, the accrual, anything that's been finalized and marked as paid, you'll be able to see all of that as well. So you can kind of track where your business is going. Obviously, that's important because you want to make sure that you're staying profitable and everything that you're doing is making you money and you're able to continue running that company and keeping up that good service. So again, a lot of this is all just connected. The reports, profit and loss, these are also printable as well. So whenever you generate a report, you're able to print that out and save it for your records. You'll see that little print button up here. And then for the most part, that's pretty much it. Again, whenever we go to add an account of some kind, this tax category is going to ask you, cost of goods sold, gross receipts or sales. You'll need to know, this will be up to you how you categorize that, how you or your accountant looks into that information. Same thing with expense account. Some kind of tax category, where does it belong? They'll ask you for that information as well. All right. So at this time, we're going to go ahead and switch back over to our presentation. I'm going to pause the screen and switch back over to our slideshow for our question and answer time. At this point, if you have any questions, as you can see in the screenshot, go ahead and type them into the box right there. Make sure that they are relevant to the topic. And if you have any questions regarding the any other topics or anything that's been previously discussed, or anything that's going on with your account, you can direct that to our support team, and I'll put that contact information up later. All right, but we're going to go ahead and see if anybody has any questions. I haven't seen anything popped up yet. All right, I'm going to go through this again just a little bit quickly this time while we're waiting on some questions, but pretty much switch back over again. Everything is connected within TruckLogics. Whenever you add an invoice, that is connected to the accounts because it's taking that information of hauling fee, that falls under mileage income, fuel surcharge, that'll fall under something else, accessorial income, that'll accessorial fees or deductions, that'll fall under accessorial income. Anything that's extra that's coming in for you is going to come in that way. And then the deductions and anything that is being taken out. So if you have an accessorial deduction on an invoice, that'll show within this category here. And whenever your drivers upload anything to the mobile app, any expenses, make sure that they're adding them in the right section with the right category, so that way everything gets categorized properly and goes to the right places and you're tracking the right things on the accounts. Still don't have any questions coming in, but that is okay. We're just going to continue on. And any questions that you have that you might have been hesitant to ask, you can always contact our support team. You can reach out to us via email, phone, chat. We'll be more than happy to help and answer any questions to help you get a better understanding. And we also have a lot of resources, our blogs, our videos. All of our webinars are posted on our YouTube channel as well and emailed out to everybody who signs up. But for anybody that was here earlier, for the webinar, I touched a little bit on this, but TruckLogics Connect is a forum that we're going to be having. We're going to have a lot of industry leaders coming in and talking about different parts of the transportation industry. We're going to have people talking about getting your business set up, talking about compliance, taxes, perks of using a fuel card, pretty much just different things to get information out there to anybody who is in the trucking industry, looking to get into the trucking industry, or anybody who works in it, may not be a driver, but works for a company like a dispatcher or any kind of service provider. That's going to be happening on November 9th from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern time. This is an all-day event. There's going to be different breakout rooms. So you'll be able to choose the session that you want to attend. You can choose 1, 2, or all of them. And it's just going to be a day of information and learning different things about the industry. Whether you're a novice or an amateur, or anybody just new to it all, it's really good information for everybody that's going to be attending. So make sure you stay tuned, sign up for that. You can find sign-up links on our website, TruckLogics.com, and I believe it'll also be on our social media as well. So this will be the last webinar for October, and that'll conclude everything regarding accounts. In the November webinar series, we're going to go over reports. So smart reporting like driver payment and customer reports, and using reporting features within TruckLogics. And as always, if you haven't signed up for a free trial, go ahead and go to TruckLogics.com today and get signed up. It's a 15-day free trial, no credit card required. Go ahead and get started. You'll be able to test everything out within the system. You'll be able to test everything, all the reports, everything that you can enter in will show within your account, and you can just really play around even with our mobile app. So you're not really losing anything, just get in there, get signed up. And as always, if you need help, you can always reach out to us. Our number is 704-234-6946. You can email us at support@trucklogics.com, and we are located in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Thank you again for joining us today. And as always, join us next time, and we'll be here 4 p.m. every Thursday.